In the previous video, I have walked you through the game, how the gameplay of this particular game looks like. So in this particular video, I will make sure like what all things I have implemented in this game. So this will be a brief video. So let's get started. So so the first and foremost game thing that I have implemented for this game was the labels. So this particular game usually consists of 5 levels, each of like varying difficulties. So in this particular thing, the for like designing part, I have basically used like various platform. Those are either static or like in the moving stages. So I have basically used like various platforms, spikes, jams, as well as like pressure plates and exit doors, just to make it more it's kind of like a combination of this element to create challenges for the player. So as you can see, the most of the platform portion that are inside here are either static or like a moving. There are like various events in the blueprints. There are like various events called basically the thing that I come in. Those are like move component to node, or like a moving platform, or like alternate between this basically alternate between like in one of the parameter wherein um, uh, I will walk you through the platform one, wherein I have simply created a flip flop wherein like at some point of time this particular platform will be in the one stage, and at if it's started, but like at this very next stage it will be quite opposite to that. So I have basically used like a flip flop for that particular event. So talking about the level, I have basically used various cube of like varying size, just to give a pillar kind of effects. So it was quite simple at the very first. The only thing was you have to make sure like a design is kind of a perfect, and like it's quite easy to like replicate those things around. So getting started with like first component is always a challenging part, wherein like you have to design like how it looks, and like complete replica of it can be kind of like mounted at the very next stages. So this was one of the portion, and just to give like a very good view, I just kind of use various meshes or like statical meshes and pillars, and I kind of like spread all across it, like it is completely random that I have spread across. And just to give a very good effect, I have used like a fog effect. It is basically provided within Unreal. So that kind of like made a visually engaging effect for the player. So at the same time, I have made sure this kind of effects there's an atmosphere within like Unreal that basically helps you like uh, use like pre-built library. So for designing portion, that I have used this particular things. After that, like for the James and collection were the second portion that I worked upon. So as you can see, the player object is quite simple. There are a couple of gems that are spread across the level. The object is quite simple, wherein like you just have to go there, collect the gems, and at the very end, like if all the gems are collected, so this particular door will be opening. For collectibles, I basically use this gem. So just to give like a good animation, I basically used various audio component, and uh, just to make it more appealing. So so each gem uses like a box collision. So once the player is near to is just overlap this particular box collision of the gem, it uses like on component begin overlap event to detect when the player collects it. Once player collects it, the gem plays a sound. So I have associated a sound to it. It's a kind of like a small audio clip. So it basically updates the gem UI. So the UI that has been presented at very last of the screen, wherein like it will show the player like how many gems has to be collected, and like how many gems are total in the level. Once that's been collected, get all widget class dynamically accesses it, and basically updates the UI. And it basically checks if like the collected gem count matches to the total count of the gem. So for that particular thing, I have used like a branch node. So so this is the this is the branch node I have used, which basically like I'm just yeah. This is the branch node which basically like checks for the condition if the gems needed is basically equal to the total number of gems across here. So this was kind of a logic, the UI to reflect the player's progress whenever the gems has been collected. So that was one of the portion that I worked upon. Then there was like exit door mechanism wherein like at very first of the game when like all the gems are not collected, the exit door is locked until the gems are collected. So the for that particular thing, the simple logic was like I again created a box collision around it. So and like it was mapped to the James condition, wherein like it makes sure like uh, all the gems are collected. If not, like if those gems are not collected at that any point of time, so I have like changed the color component for this particular duo, wherein like it will be red at the very first, and like once all the gems wherein the total number of gems is equal to the collected gems in that particular scenario, the color will be changed to green. I have also used like a next level variable, which kind of like ensures like once all the gems are collected and color is mapped to like green, it will basically make sure the player moves to the next level. So this is kind of a like modular wherein like you don't have to create like very different logic. You can just like use this for particular variable at every level, and just map it with the dough, and that way like it will automatically take the player to the next level. So that was one of the thing that I have implemented. Also I have like added a fade out animation using like a play animation node for the doors. This The level basically transition using like open level node to the next, and like the modular design basically make it easy to like reuse in the multiple level, as like and for that particular thing you don't have to do much changes. And the next portion was the pressure plates. So just to increase like difficulty for the player, I have like incremented um, two platforms. Those were like pressure plates and a moving platform. So this pressure plates usually used to activate. This used to activate the moving platforms when the player used to step on them. So though this were the like the moving platform, and in order to activate it, the pressure plate was the one that a player has to step on in order to activate the moving platform. So the logic behind it was quite simple. Like I have assigned like a static mesh around like pressure plate. So based upon that particular event, this is the blueprint. Initially, the moving platform, it is red, meaning like there's a pressure plate that you have to search for. So the on component begin overlap basically used to make sure like the used to look for the event on the pressure plate triggers. So whenever on component begin overlap event on the pressure plate triggers, a glow effect used to the a glow effect used to change the plate's material to green using a set material node. And the second portion that used to happen was like the plate used to activate a moving platform using a event dispatcher. So I have basically used the event dispatcher, which in the moving platform, so which we used to basically activate it whenever this particular event of pressure plate was activated. So this was kind of a logic wherein like a pressure plate usually used to look for the players a static mesh. Once that event has been triggered, the moving plate automatically used to start to and fro motion. So that was one of the thing. And like in order to make it more engaging, I basically use like a player UI. I basically use like few of the menus, like main menus. So for the main menu thing, I use like a canvas, and there I mounted with like various buttons that were eventually like uh, I that were mapped to the blueprints. So based upon like users input, the to and from motion of the within the labels and the menu that I integrated. And for the gem collector UI, basically used to give account like what exactly level you have to play. So this was like a level selector UI, which was basically mapped with the level you want to play with. And then there was like a pause menu UI, which basically used to like whenever the escape key was pressed, the event was to be triggered. So I have mapped all the three in a way like the to and fro motion can be kind of easily done, and like it kind of like gave engaging effect. And like for the levels, basically based upon like various difficulties, I have mapped difficulties for the levels. Like the level 1 was quite easy, and in order to increase difficulty, I basically changed the variables for the platform. And like as you can see the various level, so I have like increased the difficulty by varying like keeping the gems at like very different level. So that was one of the thing. And to make it more engaging, I added like sound effects. So whenever the gem was collected, I added a sound effect for them. After that, like if the door changes from red to green, uh, uh, I use like a set material in that particular thing. So so this was kind of like a basic overview that I implemented. I like just complete like what all brief things and like what were the challenges that I came across. So thank you so much for your time, and that's about it. Thank you.